All right.
Take two. Sorry about that.
Take two. That's right. I'm texting people, letting them know we're back up.
Yeah, I just sent Lou and Jeff a message.
So we'll give that just a second to do some. Do you want to tell them what happened or no?
Yeah, I don't mind.
I guess we're live now. I guess this is a great time. Like I said, we don't stand on ceremony around here.
Yeah, Kyle, I'm okay. I had a little vertigo spout.
Yeah, that was a little scary. You feeling okay?
Yeah, I'm fine.
I'm sure this is great for clicks.
Get those numbers up.
Co-host fakes death live on live stream. But mostly Disney rises to the top of all streaming software.
Wow.
Whew, that was scary. But that's you know what AI can't do? Have a vertigo attack on live on the air.
No, they can't.
That's right. Mm-hmm.
So if you want to make sure you keep things real and fresh, that's the best way to do it.
Yeah.
Now that you said it, some AI program out there is already programming it and figuring out how to do it. So.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Well, they won't be able to do it as well as Andrew did it.
Not as authentic as mine.
That was some expert level freaking me out. All right. We're back live on Facebook.
The great
thing is there's no script for this. We just And we're back up on YouTube. So that's good. All right, cool. Well, let's try it again. Hey guys, and welcome to the But Mostly Disney podcast with a special Take Two episode here tonight. And with me on the other end, thank goodness, is my buddy Andrew in Charleston, South Carolina.
Hey everybody, let's try this again. Sorry for that. Had a little vertigo spell out of nowheres, but I'm all right.
This is why you need to do more than the audio, right? This is why you got to come live on Tuesdays, because we don't put this. We're gonna in the audio that'll be taken out. But Andrew just scared us all to death a little bit. So, and as Karen says right here, she is totally okay with not doing that again.
Yeah,
glad you're okay. Everybody's happy. Even Jeff C, who's only happy when he's eating s'mores.
I think everybody's happy with s'mores.
And we also have tonight a really special guest, and I'm really excited to have him here. It's my buddy from Gouters on the Go, Paul Gouter.
Hello. All right, let's do this again. I'm excited. Let's talk some Disney now.
I've got some serious adrenaline. Yeah. And we got the okay from Andrew's wife, which is important because honestly, that's what I did. Once I got out of the hospital, I just started listening to my wife, and things have worked out a lot better. And Brian Crawford, who'll be on here next week, guys. So I actually have a guest a whole week in advance. I know, doesn't happen very often, but he'll be here next week. And so again, he's glad. There's some lights, so it looks professional. So I met Paul like a year and 4 months ago at the first time I went to Momentum, and he got up and spoke in one of his many, many Roosevelt shirts. And he probably won't like hearing this either, because he's a really nice guy, but he's really a genius. And he's part of the reason I have this podcast at all is because when I came home from Momentum, him and Jeff and Lou, and they're like, do a live show, bump your algorithm up. And these guys understand how this stuff works. And we will talk a little bit about, Paul on the Go and what you're doing there. And it's, if you're like me and have something you're passionate about and want to try to find a way to maybe, or at least give it a shot, making it into business, Paul's your guy. But before we were interrupted, Andrew, still okay? Now I'm gonna be nervous the whole time. Paul, tell us a little bit about your kind of Disney origin story. Take us back to little Paul in 1976.
Yeah. So I was saying, I remember going to Disney World in like 1976. I went to Disneyland a few times. I don't really remember that because we lived in California a little while. And then as a middle school teenager, my parents took me a few times. But we didn't get the Disney bug again until Kelly and I were married, and she had never been. And so she went back to school to get a second degree after we got married. And as motivation, she was doing it like, after work at night. And she said, "Hey, as motivation, when I graduate, will you take me to Disney World for my first trip?" Sure. All right, let's do it. So we did the whole thing, bought the unofficial guide, read all the stuff, carried that big, huge book with us in the parks, made all the mistakes you can. We watched the 3:00 parade in front of the castle in July and about died. Went to Pinocchio Village House right at 12 and waited in line for we did everything you could wrong, but came home from that trip completely in love, went back the next year. And that was it. We were hooked, and we went several times. And then after our daughter was born is when it really kicked into high gear. We took her on her first trip in 2008. And we took my parents and Kelly's mom and had a huge, big trip. And since then we travel often. I think you put this in one of the descriptions you had, but after we had taken Brooke so many times, my daughter Brooke, she decided somewhere in high school that she had a goal. She wanted to go to Disney World 40 times before she graduated high school. So we hit the goal. We made it to 42 before she graduated high school. And what happens if you take her that many times is she leaves South Carolina, moves to Florida, and becomes a cast member. So that's where we are now.
That's so cool.
Awesome.
So it's interesting. Yours is kind of similar to mine. I went as a kid, and then but then really picked it back up it became our family thing,
Right.
Right now mine is resisting the college program. And they probably should. They should be out in California, but I keep hoping, just to get one more kid down there. But it's cool. And that's really what Walt wanted, right? Walt wanted all of us to something to do with our families, something to do we could all do together, not just one or the other. I'm still a little off my game.
For me, it became Kyle, thanks for the compliment on the shirt. For us, we both worked full-time jobs. I was building this thing that I do over on the side. So we were working a lot, especially, in Brooks Elementary, middle school. So for us, travel was that escape. That way we could remember the good old days when you went into the parks and you didn't have to use a phone. You weren't connected. You could go on a cruise and not check the internet all week. Those were our escapes, and it was really awesome. It's evolved since then, but that was how we escaped and really got away as a family.
Now, Karen wants to know, was Brooke, did she do college program or right to cast member?
She did a full year as a college program kid, and then she's part-time now.
That's so cool.
So if you're in the Magic Kingdom, look for a Brooke over at Seven Dwarfs Mine Train. I always tell people to, try to get a selfie with Brooke. She worked Pooh and Teacups first during her college program. And so it was much easier when she worked there to spot her. Seven Dwarfs Mine Train is a little more fast paced, and they don't have much time to talk. So it's harder to get a selfie with her, but I have had a lot of friends go down there and play the game trying to get a selfie with Brooke.
That's so much fun. Does she work 40 hours a week? How often does she work?
I think they schedule her for like 20 or 30, something like that, 30 hours as a part-time, but then she picks up shifts. So she does anywhere from, 35 to sometimes, close to 40, just depending on how many shifts she can pick up.
Huh.
It is a crazy system. They have a Facebook group where they just all like talk to each other and trade shifts around. And
Cool.
It's fascinating to hear all the inside stuff.
It's very different. And even in like just a regular restaurant, they do that now. Like my buddy works for Hilton.
Right.
in their bar system, and he'll go online and it'll show what shifts are available. And if someone wants to get rid of one and like never talks to a manager, just presses a button. And the next thing you know, he's working Saturday night. It's pretty wild. I guess it ups accountability. I still remember days of going into places and going, you want to go home? Do you want to go home? Do you want to go home? Just trying to pick up shifts and make some extra money. It's funny.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, since we're here, tell us about all the other stuff you do. Well, go ahead, and because I have a question for you. That's it's our show. We can be selfish, right? But tell us a little more about all the other stuff you do too.
So I career-wise, I started off. I worked state government in South Carolina for 25-ish years, and on the side, I was building this business. Never really meant to build a business on the side. It was just something I did in college for fun, but it grew and grew, and community took off. So now I am full-time with powwows.com. It is a Native American community online. We help people explore, experience, and connect with Native culture. And we do that through live streams, articles, podcasts, videos, all kinds of content. We have a couple of teams now where they travel all over North America streaming powwows. So we'll be live at 2 different powwows this weekend. If you're ever interested in seeing that, definitely go check it out. So that's, and in addition to my wife's a travel agent, I do a lot of content creation on travel and helping people build their own community and build their business through email marketing, especially. So that's some of the stuff. Yeah.
And so if you subscribe to my newsletter, and if you don't, here's a little QR code for you right there. Still got the Christmas background, but I'm not changing anything. We were messing with the Ecamm beta earlier. But the only reason I have an email list is because of Paul. So if you are, again, that's why I named this channel, but mostly Disney, so we can talk about whatever we want. And we're absolutely just stuck on brand. I mean, because like Kyle's saying that he may try for a part-time job at Disney, and he and I keep trying to get together in person, but he does a bunch of live streams, and I'm like, dude, that's a business. I mean, there's something there to take it, and look, it's one of those things that I think a lot of the folks who go to Momentum, we talk business, and there is a business side, but it's really it's a lot of it, at least, is stuff we want to do, right? Like if I don't make a business out of but mostly Disney, I'm okay, right? Then I've done something fun, and I've had a great hobby, and I really enjoy doing it. I think even Lou will say you don't get into podcasting for the money, but again, I'm doing it the most difficult way possible by not being in Orlando. Kyle jumps in the parks and runs down and is able to do it and be there first and get the video out. But you never know. And again, it's been over a year now. We're 55 episodes into this, and Paul's a big part of that. So if you're looking for help, he is definitely the man. And
appreciate that. Yeah. And Kyle, that's the dream, right? I mean, that's our plan. We're hoping we get to move to Florida and keep doing what we're doing. But yeah, my dream is to be a part-time PhotoPass photographer on Main Street.
That would be a perfect spot for you.
That would be, that's the dream. I would love that.
Andrew's going to drive that boat.
I want to be a boat captain.
That does seem fun too.
Especially the ones that, running around in the little Boston Whaler. That'd be me.
Right. So at least you get to go fast.
Stop doing that. Slow down. Can't go over here.
Yeah.
But nice.
The Wilderness
magical.
Lodge route. Yeah.
Yeah.
That would actually, what are your top 5 jobs? I was going to talk about snacks, and we still can because I love snacks. But now I'm kind of thinking like I have a very specific job that doesn't exist. That is my dream job at Disney. And I'll just start with that. I'll tell you right now is I want to be in charge of making sure that light bulbs are not out, because one of the things I've always loved about Disney, even when we only went, Matthew says, what, we don't get paid for this? What are you talking about? I did see, by the way, Matthew, though, I was looking at the doctor's office. Matthew Woolley is from Married to a Disney Addict podcast, and theirs is fantastic. But your name came up at a pretty good spot on a top 100 Disney podcast list. So that's awesome. But he and his wife do a great job. But that's what I want to do. I want to walk around Disney. I don't even know if you need to pay me for it, and just go, oh, I need a T38 over here. I need a 60 watt here. Because one of the things when my friends say, what do you love about Disney? And I'm not kidding. I love it that it's hard to find a light bulb out, you know, with the exclusion of the beach club of Stormalong Bay, they had a lot of bulbs out. But if you walk down Main Street or you go in a shop or in a restaurant, you look at the train, look at night, like the bulbs are all on, right? Well, you know, Jeff says the perfect job would be to test water fountains. However, I don't want to mix work and pleasure that much, right? That's something that's just a service I provide to the people. This would be something I'd be, and
I mean, dream job. You got a tour guide, right? That would be the dream job.
Yeah.
Right. All right. So and then Kyle kind of.
I got a first mate.
Right.
He'll be sending me Lieutenant Dan.
So Kyle's got one as monorail driver, which I mean, yeah, I do have a little bit of a monorail problem. Like an addiction to, my kids are just like, haven't you already taken that picture? Haven't you already filmed that angle? Nope, not this angle. This is a brand new one. But I would love to be in that cockpit. And I hope they start doing it again where you can ride in there.
I was out at Disneyland a couple months ago and I got to ride up front. So much fun.
They wouldn't, the day we were there, and we were only there for one day in July, they weren't doing it that day. Which is,
yeah.
I have a lot of good luck. So
did it just break down a couple weeks ago
in California?
Disneyland monorail? Yeah, I think it broke down. They had to evacuate it.
Oh.
Karen says Main Street daily operations.
I have no experience in operations or logistics, but it fascinates me. So I would love to work in one of those, you know, like even just like shipping from fulfillment, like figuring out how they order cups. That I don't know. That fascinates me. Like, how do they calculate how many paper cups they need?
I watched the deal for Royal Caribbean, how they do food on the cruise ships.
Yes.
It's ridiculous. It's all by poundage. And they take it out, they weigh it, they bring it back, they weigh it. And then they have a calculation that tells them, well, next time we only need to put half of it out.
I listened to, and I want to try to get this guy on the show, but Chris is the roast master for Joffrey's Coffee. And so the reason I like Joffrey's, not just because it's Disney, though that is a big part of it. We had, like, for some reason, drank their in-room coffee, you know, the little packets in the room, and it was good. And I've never had like in-room coffee that I actually really, really liked. And so I think it was on Resort Loop podcast. They had him on, and he was talking about what they redid for the cruise ships. Like, they basically reinvented how coffee is done on cruise ships. Like, and it's all by poundage, like you're saying, it's all by weight. I mean, it's really, really amazing. So Brian Crawford he says, Friendship Boat on Sassagoula would be a lot of fun to drive up and down those canals.
So Matthew just reminded me, okay, ultimate job. There's a book out there called I Led the Parade, Main Street Memories. It's on Amazon. It looks like it's only used books. But we bought that book and we would read it to Brooke, like for bedtime stories, and cried our eyes out every night. It's it was the cast member who got to pick who was the marshals of the parade every day. And he just told these stories of all these families he got to meet. And that was a great book about just these incredible people that he just randomly got to meet.
Oh, wow.
That's awesome.
That would be a cool job. Yeah.
Yeah. Matthew had said that he liked hang out the Wish promotions.
Yeah.
I mean, and we talked about it on another show, but talking about like just even little things you do, like, you know, we always had, we never get, when we do the dining plan, we never get it right. And so we always end up with a bunch of quick service meals left over. And I think, you know, the first year we converted it all to candy, which was fun to do, but it really was not good, especially since I'm diabetic. And then we started trying to buy people lunch. And it's funny how many folks are kind of resistant to it, actually. No, we're okay. I'm like, no, you don't understand. I'm going to throw this away if you don't eat this lunch. No, I'm like, there's no catch, I swear. But if you could do that all day long, how much fun that would be.
Oh yeah. And Jeff, first of all, Polite Pig, they're not cast members. So I want to be a cast member, but two, I would get fired from Polite Pig. That would not work out well for me.
Yeah, I was thinking, why is this bottle half empty?
Yeah. I don't know where that $10,000 bottle of bourbon went. No idea.
Well, I mean, it's part of the job, Paul. You have to taste this stuff with your, you're just helping out the client.
Let you taste that stuff.
So Paula Mundy says the VIP tour guide, check in at Fort Wilderness, bartender almost anywhere. I wonder what where don't you want a 10 bar? And then just be Cinderella. I'm with, was it Kyle that said he'd like to just pick up trash and point, like wear dress nice, but have the little grabber so you can sit there and then just give directions all day? That wouldn't be a bad job.
Yeah.
I feel like they have other responsibilities.
Yeah, those are usually leaders.
Yeah, they like to wait till everybody stands we're not supposed to stand and then go, the 20 of y'all have got to move. And they're like, oh, I've been here for an hour and now you tell me to move? Okay.
Karen says she used to get to pick the families to open the park when they do the opening of the train station. That's cool.
That's cool.
Dude, you are literally creating a lifetime memory. That is core. That is something they're going to remember forever. Forever.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I would
Paula, I just
go ahead.
Oh, go ahead.
No.
I was gonna say, Paul, I just stayed at Fort Wilderness. First time we've stayed there in probably 20 years before Brooke was born. We stayed in the cabins just 2 weeks ago. Oh my God, they are incredible. I mean, we remember loving the place when we brought our camper down, but we fell in love with the campgrounds all over again. It's now a top 5 resort for me of all resorts, not just World.
Okay, so since I told you we run on tangents here. That's our fuel. So my wife, and I think I've convinced her otherwise, wanted to rent an RV and drive cross country and do all that. And then my buddy was like, well, what you do is you get a nice car and then you stay at the campgrounds, but stay in the lodge or in the cabins. And then you're not hooking up septic and all that other stuff. Like, did you love your camper or would you rather stay in the cabins?
We loved it for about a year. And then it just gets to be a lot of work.
Right.
We had a pop-up. So we took it on a lot of trips that first year and we probably wore ourselves out and kind of burned ourselves out. But when you get to, again, South Carolina in July and it's taking you 2 hours to set up a pop-up before you can get the air conditioner on, it just got to be, it was like,
right,
that hotel is not that much more expensive.
Yeah, and that's what he said. He said, I think what they had is they were towing something and it actually got really squirrely and they didn't like that. So they ended up going and just making the reservations, but it was like a family thing. So it was like 4 vehicles and they would go just get a bottle of wine or some bourbon and sit in their cabin and everyone would just eventually make their way up and hang out in the cabin. No one ever even went in the RVs again, Because
now some of those big fifth wheels, I think that would be different, right? I mean, we had a pop-up and it was a pain.
Still got to hook up
nice,
electricity. You got to do the cousin Eddie out in the driveway with the hose and get that all hooked up.
I've saw a couple of videos. I think Tim Tracker's done a couple of times. They rent a fifth wheel, have it drive. But I'm like, just go stay in a cabin at a resort. Why are you wasting all that time? I'm sure. I don't know. I'm sure he said something about the price, but I'm just in my mind going, that's got to be just as much as staying at Port Orleans or Coronado Springs or something.
Yeah, I saw that video and I feel like I looked after that and couldn't. They might not be doing it anymore. Like they might not be letting that happen, or if they are, you got to do it kind of quietly. I'm not sure about that. If someone else knows, please let me know. But I know.
I think Kyle's posted. Yeah, I think there are companies that will bring a camper over there and set it up for you.
Still do it? Oh yeah, there he is. Which, I mean, if you wanted that experience, The only time we stayed in the campgrounds was one time. I'd booked a park day. I did a split stay and I used points for half of it. And the day I booked at Magic Kingdom was a day we weren't in a Disney friendly hotel. And so we didn't get our magic hours. So we rented a campsite for like $50. And then we actually went over and put a little tent down and looked at it and then got out and drove away and went and used our. It was fun. It was a good picture.
How do buses run? Just like a regular resort bus at the campgrounds? They got different spots that just pick you up?
Yeah. Paula says there are companies approved by Disney.
There's an internal bus loop, and then it takes you up to the outpost where then you catch a bus to a park.
Unless you have a
So
golf cart.
it's like,
because we
unless
did
you have a
the
golf cart.
review and they picked us up from there and took us to the review. Okay, yeah, I know exactly what you're talking
Right.
about now. Yeah.
Or if you're Paul, you just drive your golf cart up there.
We loved. Yeah, having the golf cart was awesome.
I imagine going to and from the pool, it would make it a much better trip as well.
Yeah.
Now, okay,
But
let me ask.
There's tons of activities too. I mean, they had. We went and saw the horses. There's a huge the stables. They have archery. They have the big movie night with s'mores, hiking trails. There's a lot to do there.
What does the new resort look bad there? Is it weird looking? Okay.
Facial expression says it all.
I mean this in the most positive way. Yeah. It's gonna. I mean, we don't beat up on Disney too much. I mean, they do things I like. They do things I don't like. That's life, right? But we talked about it on here. I talked about it with somebody. Like, why there? Like, why not move it a little bit? I mean, save some trees and figure out a different space for it or do something different. I think my biggest beef is that my oldest kid, I don't know if I mentioned that she had an internship at Pixar, but her eye for these things is so good and she's very critical in the kindest way possible. But they're like, August was like, it looks just like the Polynesian Tower, Dad. And I'm like,
that's what I said.
Which is,
I mean, I've gotten used to that already. Bay Lake Tower doesn't match the contemporary,
Yeah.
I don't think it's supposed to, though.
No. When we were there, I mean, the finishing's not on the building. The only place we could see it was when you're at Pioneer Hall.
Okay.
But it does loom over the top of Pioneer Hall. I had heard people upset about it. And when we got there, it's much bigger and much closer than I expected.
Okay. That's what I was wondering. And then I feel like someone said they might be moving Pioneer Hall. Like they were talking about moving that all to somewhere else. And I don't know if that's true.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's really close.
It's
really close.
I've meant to go over and take a look the last 2 times I was there, and I have not. Interesting. And by the way, after I talked to you last time about, I did go to book the cabins for June, and they were gone. They were there the week before, and they are all booked up. So we're staying at the boardwalk in June.
Well, I guess you look for October then.
I've never stayed there, so it'll be another.
Yeah, we want to stay in October. So I need to look.
Yeah, I'd book it quick because I don't think there's that many of them either.
There's a ton. We did not know that there were. I mean, we'd only been one time, stayed there. I mean, we'd been to like Hoopty Doo and stuff, but there's a ton of cabins. There's got to be over 100.
Oh wow! But in Disney terms, that's not very many. There's 409 cabins at Fort Wilderness.
Wow, I was way off.
That's crazy. Over 350 are new. Each cabin sleeps 6. Interesting. 409. Wow. God bless Disney. They just know how to fill hotel rooms. But I've never stayed at Boardwalk, so I'm excited about that. I'm looking forward to
the place is cool. I like it.
Yeah.
Just because you're in the vicinity of our 2 favorite parks, Epcot and Hollywood Studios.
Magically, Vanessa says, great name, to be the Plan Disney panelist, which used to be Disney Mom, right? But now I guess we've overcome and got our foothold in there. But I looked at the picture the other day, and there's not a lot of men doing it. They need to be more represented. I've applied every year and never even come close. Well, and see, Kyle says here, the Polynesian Tower is an eyesore. I wouldn't go that far, but that burger is ridiculous.
That burger's good.
It's
It's very good.
I haven't had anything in that restaurant at all that isn't spectacular.
All right. So that burger, you know where I'm going, or the burger from Geyser Point.
Geyser Point. It's
I
almost.
haven't had the Geyser Point.
Oh, it's awesome.
Oh, it's so good. That bison burger. I mean, the setting is perfect. The burger's perfect. It's phenomenal. And don't tell anyone, but we've had really good luck just walking up and eating. Like during lunchtime, during dinner time, like we've always been able to just sit down and eat.
So when's the last time you went to Geyser Point?
Last year. So in the last 6 months.
A year of February, yeah.
Why? What'd they do?
You know, we went in at Christmas. It's, you know, like the last time I was there, they had the low tables, and it was more like a lounge seating kind of arrangement. Yeah, all that's gone. It's all regular, like 4 top tables now. It's a full table service restaurant now, but you can't make an ADR for it.
So like Walula Bar and Grill, same thing.
Yeah.
Well, and that's a shame.
The last 2 times we've been there, it was a wait. I mean, not long of a wait, but there was a little bit of a wait to get in.
That's fair.
So I wonder if they're going to try and make it like Three Bridges, because they just have all tables at Three Bridges.
Yeah, Matthews missed all the couches. That's a bummer. That was kind of a perfect spot.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah. That burger's so good. I don't care what they do.
Oh, the food's so good. Yeah.
That whole little place is just really done. Even Karen says her dad loved the bison burger. A lot of bison burger votes. But that doesn't take away. Yeah, there you go. Brian says you just chill with your resort mug until your name's called. Although it's funny, like I guess Boardwalk will be all right, but like some places like Old Key West and Saratoga, having those resort cups is not
it's not fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's like a half marathon to get back to the main building.
Yeah.
Well,
and by the time you're back, you drank all of it going to
right. I think we talked about at Riverside, which I love. I counted one morning, it was 10 minutes each way to get coffee. So that's 40 minutes before 8 o'clock of walking, which I mean, it's not bad, but when time is such a commodity at Disney, and it, you should enjoy, the spontaneous little things that happen, but you got to plan some stuff out. Right.
Yeah.
I've never been to Three Bridges.
It's good.
While we're talking food at Wilderness, somebody mentioned the charcuterie flatbread. Just the plain charcuterie board at Territory Lounge. We had that on that last trip down for Podfest. Fantastic. That was
really
incredible. So good. Yeah. I think we had 3 or 4 at the table with us, and the waitress is like, "Y'all sure you want that many?" They were a lot bigger than we thought.
Yeah.
Yeah. See that Jeff had one. Yeah.
Jeff said the same thing. Love Territory Lounge, best charcuterie. That's interesting. I've not been in there, and Lou's talked about, I think a lot of people overlook the lounges for eating. Mm-hmm. Like it's,
yes.
I mean that little, it can be difficult to get to, but if you don't want to do Ohana, popping into the lounge right next door, you can still get the noodles and the wings, pot stickers, save a couple $100, and enjoy the same view.
Yep.
We do it. We do the walk-up bar at, now I forgot, at one of our new favorite restaurants, Summer House on Lake.
Oh yeah.
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 Yep.
And I did get that cookie on the way out, and it was spectacular.
Yeah, those
Which
cookies
one?
are good.
I had a snickerdoodle, and then my wife got an almond something or other, and I forget what my daughter got, but they were spectacular. and it kept us out of Salt and Straw because I felt like Salt and Straw was going to be really heavy, and it was I was already cold. But I really want a milkshake.
On that Podfest trip, I stopped in and we were with a bunch of people one night at Polite Pig, and they had never heard of Salt and Straw. So I went in and I got the strawberry lavender black pepper. Crazy good.
Really?
Huh.
Never would have thought those three things together.
Flavors, I'm like, I don't know about that.
Kyle says Martini Hour at the Summer House has a great deal and a menu. And Jeff says that Nomad Lounge has the best old fashioned. If you know,
yeah, he's mentioned that. I haven't been back yet. I need to go try that.
The Tempting Tigress, which sounds like someone Jeff might have dated in high school, actually. If you know where the best old fashioned is on Disney property, you might be a Disney adult. Yeah,
that's a good one.
I like Summer House. I think that place is fantastic. And I will say too, since we're still talking about food, Ohana's, I felt like it was kind of, I feel like it's turned around. The last meal we had there was good. Before that, we had 2 meals in a row that were not awesome. And I do think they make sometimes, Jeff said Tempting Tigress was his dancing name in college.
I thought it was his clown name.
I forgot. If you didn't know, Jeff C was a clown at one point in time. He'd make up and
he's
juggling.
Gonna kill us.
Clown.
Right now, he's typing in.
He was not a clown.
How many folks listened to, but mostly Disney?
he was a juggler and a magician. He was not a clown.
Close hand magic. Yeah. Which I tried to learn for bartending and was terrible at. Like, there is a skill. Yeah, they need to do I really want a non-alcoholic version of the Duck Duck Raz, just so I can post that on Instagram like everybody else.
Not a fan. We had it one time. I
really?
Yeah. I guess because I'm a bourbon guy, it's too fruity for me.
Yeah, you guys should get together because I got a pretty good bourbon lesson at Polite Pig while I was sitting there.
Yeah.
Which I find fascinating.
Bourbon.
Which I found absolutely fascinating. I think, okay, so I was thinking of this earlier. I would like to be in charge of angry customers at Disney.
Ooh.
I know. But here's the thing. Yes. So I don't know. It's something like, tell me I can't do something is the best way to get me to do it. You know, that, I mean, not like reverse psychology, but like literally go, hey, you can't do this. And I bartended for over 30 years. I love making someone who's having just a horrible night, you know, turning it around and getting them in a good mood, or just messing with them and they don't know about. Like, I had a guy one time, I worked in a concert venue and we charged $2 a bottle for water. And he was so mad. And I went and talked to him and I said, sir, please stop swearing at me. You know, first of all, we don't know each other that well. And then finally I'm like, well, you know what, man, I wouldn't buy them. What? I was like, I think you're right. I think $2 is too much for a bottle of water. And if I were you, I wouldn't pay for them. Like, well, I need it. No, don't. See, if you do it, now you're part of the problem. Now they're going to keep charging $2 a bottle because you've, you know, co-signed the whole system, man. All right, I'll sell it to you, but I'm just letting you know I don't want to. And he went away fine and stopped cursing at the bartenders, which was just bizarre. But I'd love to do stuff like that. And I feel like most of those problems you can solve. People are angry, they're hot, they're tired, they're confused. We had another place I worked, this guy, and, you know, he was from somewhere landlocked, you know, in Kentucky or something, had never seen crab legs in his life, and he just destroyed them. And then he's yelling at the waitress that there was no crab meat, and I can see it in just tiny little strands all over his plate. So we got him a new plate of crab legs. I showed him how to break them open and eat them, and he was thrilled. You know, like it cost us $30 and made this guy's vacation. Yeah, and so Karen says the same thing. I did that. One princess was crying so bad, turned her around. It's the best day. You just walk away feeling good about yourself, knowing that someone else feels good. So I could eat that for a little while.
Yeah, I don't know that I could do that every day, but yeah, maybe once a month.
Yeah. And if you're not, look, if you can't be fixed with a free lightning lane, then you shouldn't be at Disney anyway. And there are some people who just can't be fixed, and then you give up. I don't race when there's no finish line, right? But I guess too, I would like to bartend at Trader Sam's as well. I think that would be a lot of fun.
Yeah, that would be cool. Or Beacon Barrel.
Or the new well, I was gonna say the Haunted Mansion Lounge on the ships too.
Oh yeah. I'm not sure I could work on a cruise ship anymore. I think that might be those days might be behind me. I'd want my own cabin in space.
Come on, sailor.
I know, right? That's exactly right. That's exactly right. What jobs have we left out? I'm trying to think if there's something that we haven't done.
The one thing that and I'm sure you do it with time is how these bus drivers remember all these routes. Like there's no GPS, there's nothing. They just, I'm sure repetition after time, but that's a big place to remember every place to go.
I mean, you figure I guess if they do it enough.
Yeah, enough.
And I wonder how many different routes they have.
You'll see two different ways to go to one place. You'll go in one way, they come out another way, and this guy went a different way. And I don't know. I think I think of crazy stuff like that.
Brian says his daughter's cabin on Virgin is like 75 square feet.
Mansion.
Yeah, and Kyle says the bus drivers are robots, which they may be. Those animatronics are just getting better and better every year.
Except for Waltz.
I'm telling you, you need to get out there and see it because it is better in person.
It is.
I don't know.
I liked it. I did not get as emotional as I thought I would watching it, but it was enjoyable.
Right. I'm looking forward. I think it's a great way to go into Carousel of Progress. I think it's a great spot for it there. It'll be a cool introduction. I will say that I was watching something, the Imagineering story or something the other day, and they got Abe Lincoln so right. Like it looks just like the penny. And that was 70 years ago. How come we can't get Walt's face just a little more elongated? And it does look a little Tom Hanksy. You know what the best job would be, Andrew? You know what I really should be in charge of is the lobby of the Polynesian. If I could be in charge, I'm
here to clean the fountain.
Right. I'm here to. No, I'm just putting this tape up for a little while. Please don't come near. I hate the change in the Polynesian Lounge. I miss the old waterfall. I never saw the parrots. Right. I never got to see birds in there. But I walk in there now, and it's my favorite resort. I just love it, except for that. I walk in every time just sad. Because my kids learned to hula in front of there. Like they've gotten rid of the fire dancers. Like,
yeah.
I get it. As a shareholder, I want them to make a lobby master. That's a title I want, right? Who wouldn't want to be called lobby master? I may put that on my business card now. Visualize it. I felt like the culture at the Polynesian, even if it was a watered down version of it, was pretty neat. I mean, they did the lighting ceremony, they did the tossing, they made real lays, they taught hula. I mean, it was really cool. And it's just gone.
Yeah. Master of Lobbies. That's a good one, Kyle.
There's a cast member that's been at was it Beach Club forever and ever? What is his title?
The Commodore or whatever?
Is that hangs out in the lobby and helps people? I thought there was one at Beach Club.
No, he is. He's at the beach. Those resorts seem to be the same to me. but yeah, there is an older fellow who wears a nice Commodore hat who's been there for a long time. And I feel bad. I can't remember her name. She has all kinds of stuff online. The lady who taught the hula dances, Auntie whoever, and she was so cool. Like she would make lays up front, and then I've got videos. I post them every now and again of the kids learning. I don't think so. If it's a St. Karen asked, is Auntie still at the Polynesian? And I think that's who it was. And I believe she passed away. There's a Facebook group for the Polynesian, Tiki Tom or whatever his name is. It's a pretty good group. And I'm pretty sure I saw that she had passed away in there, but it was after they'd stopped having her in the lobby, which was a bummer. Not as much as that wonderful, but I'm bitter.
I still miss the suffrage ladies on Main Street. To me, one of my coolest moments as a Disney dad is when we had gone several times in a couple of months span, is they like remembered Brooke, and like saw her coming down the street and went to greet her and talk to her. I'm like, okay, that's pretty cool.
That's
wow.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's really cool. Yeah. It's that again. I get it. I know that stuff costs money, but it's the little things that Disney's always done well. And I think that's what a lot of people who complain about Disney, and I'm not one of them, is that they do seem to be getting sometimes a little bit away from that little extra pixie dust that really made things made you open your wallet a little wider, right? Like it was a little.
But I blame us. I blame social. Look what happened to Tally the elf. You can't. Some of these characters get so beloved, they just get accosted when you put them out there, and they can't even do this stuff because it doesn't scale.
Right.
Yeah, you're right. I do feel like it's interesting. And correct me if I'm wrong, because I can't do Disney all day as much as I want to, but I feel like they are starting to, on the East Coast, adding characters walking around without a line. Like you're starting to see some characters, like maybe people will learn to behave themselves on the East, because on the West Coast, it's no big deal,
Oh, they were everywhere. Yeah.
Yeah. And no one cares. And I understand they're very, very different parks, but it just seems like they're starting to kind of float that out, and maybe they can actually get to a point, I mean, some of the princesses and or maybe Disney created, with all the autograph books, and it became a thing that you have to get a picture. And well, I guess that's social media, and have to get an autograph and all these things. Yeah. It's funny that Tally the elf became such a huge sensation. Not that there's anything wrong with Tally, but it's just wild.
I used to love going to Hollywood Studios for the Streetmosphere actors. That was the best part, walking down Hollywood Boulevard and hearing them talk and people laughing. And, you get the music and all now, but I missed that a lot.
Yeah. So Karen just sent me that she did pass away in 2020. Opening day cast member, born in Hawaii in 1932.
Wow.
I will not try to pronounce her full name, but was Thundering Voice of Heaven, which is really cool.
Oh, that's Akuda Mahalana Halana Padana Karana.
Yeah, there's no way I.
We have a guy that works for us. He goes by James, and his driver's license, I think, has 2 rows of words. Yeah.
Wow.
He'll tell it to you and he'll rattle it off. And I'm like, yeah, James sounds good. Yeah, we'll go with that.
James will do it. Like my son's name is Seamus, and no one will pronounce that right. Like people stop calling me Scene for Sean. But it is funny that poor Seamus can't get his name right no matter what he does.
So with the loss of the Streetmosphere and the ladies and all of the stuff, here's the idea I had. And so if Josh is listening, here's what I want. I want all those characters type interactions like you did at the Star Wars hotel that didn't work. Put them in Galaxy's Edge and have a ticketed event where we get to go in and play Star Wars for a night in Galaxy's Edge.
Sign me up.
Now, would you dress up? Would you wear Jedi robes, the full deal? or would
I
you
think
just go?
I don't know.
I think
Yeah, probably. I mean, if Roosevelt at least, but
Right.
you know, I never did the hotel, and I kind of regret it. But I didn't know that I was into the full cosplaying for a whole weekend and the
It's a
price.
lot.
But for an
Yeah.
evening, I'd do it.
I
I'd be
did it
all
for an
in.
evening event. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, for that, it's really just doing Halloween, right?
Right.
Pretty much, yeah. But like, go back to the Starliner, Star Cruiser. That was my biggest thing. Is I'm gonna spend it's just as much money for a weekend that I can take my whole, half the money's gonna cost my family. I'm gonna spend time with my family because I'm a huge Disney and Star Wars nerd. But I'm not gonna dress up in a robe and all that madness. But I wish I'd have done it now. Now that it's gone,
Yeah.
Lou's probably
Yeah.
going, "You big dummies! You should have done it, and it might still be here." But yeah.
Even the Harry Potter kids. So, all right. So let me ask you two guys this, and we can discuss afterwards why it's not happening on the East Coast. But does them changing the timeline for Galaxy's Edge bother you at all?
And I think it makes it easier for everybody.
Yeah.
Yes.
Every time someone brings that up, and I've got some pretty nerdy Star Wars friends. Like I have a buddy who doesn't even want to ride Rise because he's in the 501st Legion and he feels like it's just not his. It's not his Star Wars. Okay.
Well, it's not.
It's true.
But in his eyes, it's not like, okay, the three of us, we all grew up with the original trilogy. I'm a big enough Star Wars guy where I'll watch all of them. But
right.
I got people that work for me that are in their early 20s that all they know are the prequels and the new ones. They didn't grow up with just the three main. So I see where they're coming from, but to have it where you can see the old trilogy characters and the new trilogy together, not together, but in separate areas, I think that worked. Now, is that the demise of Star Tours? Is that going to go away?
I hope not.
I don't either, but now there's no characters around because that's where Vader hung out, was there after they closed the launch bay.
There's room for both.
Yeah, there is.
So my son, and he's 20, he loves the first three. To the point that I've stopped making fun of them because he gets angry. Because to me they're just, oh boy, a trade embargo and bad acting. Like I didn't love them, but they were his, and he loves them, right? I mean,
right.
And I love Mandalorian, and I love Star Wars. But I can steal. I guess I can steal from Lou a little bit. I think I've told this story before, but Jason Sorrell, he's an Imagineer that had a meeting with George Lucas, like literally at Skywalker Ranch. And he had fought to keep Hoth out of Star Tours because it didn't fit the right timeline. And they kind of said, didn't George? So they bring it to George and present it. And he comes down and says, well, I like it, but how come there's no walkers? Like, well, they didn't exist in that timeline. They hadn't been invented. Who cares?
Yeah.
Jason's like, I thought you would care, So we're all walking around like it's just cool to have Darth Vader. Here's Luke Skywalker. Here's some people. Here's Han Solo. Bring them all in. Yeah. I don't care if they didn't exist in the same timeline.
Right.
Because no matter what you do, you're going to have some nerd yelling at you from the sidelines, telling you why.
Well, when first time my dad went with us, we walked up to the Millennium Falcon, and there's Chewbacca. He's like, "Where's Han Solo?" I'm like, "Well, he's not in this time frame." He's like, "Son, it is Star Wars to me. I'm an old guy. Where's he at?" I'm like, "He's not here. His son stabbed him. He's not here. He's gone."
It's so true.
As a Star Wars guy, I mean, there's my Mando right there.
Oh yeah.
I think they made a big mistake trying to make it too generic of a land. I think they should have just made it Mos Eisley or something that we all recognize.
Yep.
And you could move. I mean, you figure. I mean, not to be too nerdy, but Mos Eisley as a spaceport could have survived all 9 movies, right? Like it.
Yes.
Didn't have to just be in 4, 5, and 6. So you could rotate it on different days. You could do all kinds of things by the hour. The morning is this timeline. The afternoon's this timeline. I don't know. I still like it. I think it's awesome. I love walking through there. I think it's the best themed land.
Fantasyland has every princess ever, and nobody complains that they don't fit their timelines.
Correct.
So
That's a good point. Yeah, what's everybody crying about? I will say this, and Karen's right. I do miss the speeder bike that they had outside of Star Tours. In fact, I was just looking the other day and found a bunch of pictures of us on that. Yeah, and that's what Brian says. That's why Cars Land works, right?
Yeah.
Because it's perfect. It's the street.
Well,
yeah,
it's like when they
I still think.
Go ahead, Paul.
Oh, I was going to say, to me, Cars Land is the most immersive land that is out there. I don't think there's. Harry Potter is close, but I have some issues with it. But standing in Cars Land at night, there's no other place where I feel like I'm in the movie more.
It's incredible. It was hard to be there, and we decided ahead of time that I just wanted to do, we only had one day. So I wanted to do Disneyland. You know, I wanted to do nothing but Disneyland. And it was really difficult not to upgrade to a park hopper and go over and see it at night.
Yeah.
Just to stand there, because it's wild. I mean, it's just unbelievable. I like, and it's funny because I'm going down with my mom in March, and she's like, we're not going to fiddle around with the animal place. I'm like, ugh. But it's so beautiful. Like, I love Animal Kingdom. Like, I've never been to Nepal, but I feel like walking through Nepal is what it looks like that, you know? Like, I think they just did a good job there.
Yeah, Addison's not thrilled we're not going. She's like, we're not going to my park. I went, we don't have enough days, kid.
Hard, and it's always the one that gets cut out. Maybe Indiana Jones will let that. Hey, Tony made it just in time. All right, well, thanks. Have a good night. Tony's here. Goodbye. All right. Well, so kind of a weird night, but fun. Like always
way better.
Not gonna forget this one. No. Tony, you missed everything. I'm sorry you weren't here. Paul, tell us where to find you, and because I mean, look, all these folks, any person in this chat should be at Momentum and could have their own thing going. Andrew Prince, I'm definitely looking at you. So tell us how to find you in all things.
Yeah, thanks. And definitely a plug for Momentum. If you are a creator or want to be a creator, that is a great, it's not a conference, but there's no other word for it. But it's a conference and you should come. So if you are interested in Native American powwows, they are open to the public. I highly encourage you to go. And you can find out all about it, powwows.com/powwow101. And if you're interested in learning more about building community, using email marketing and all of those things to help build your business, you can go over to paulgowder.com. And then, of course, Gowders Are on the Go is kind of just a landing page for all the stuff I'm doing.
And plug your wife. She,
Oh, yeah, for sure. Kelly Gowder at Key to the World Travel. She is a travel agent. She's been doing it for several years now. Yeah.
And she's absolutely lovely.
Thank you. She's the Jiminy Cricket of powwows.com. That's what I always tell people. She was the voice on the shoulder telling me, she's the one that told me to buy the domain name when I did. I would not have spent that $75 if it had not been for her. She's the one that told me to actually form it into a business and make it an LLC. So yeah, Kelly's a big part of what I do. Business-wise and of course, family-wise.
Yeah, and powwows.com is really, really cool. Like if you follow Paul on social media, and you should, I thought some of the dancing was AI. Like I really couldn't believe that he filmed it, because it just comes out. It's unbelievable. Yes, I'll put links up for all his stuff. I should have done that. I struggled. But it's a really great site. And the thing is like, if you're like me, you feel uncomfortable, what are you allowed to say? What are you not allowed to say? What can you do? And Paul will guide you through it. In fact, you can even get on an email list. It'll tell you what to expect at a powwow. And I went as a kid with my mom. We have Mattaponi and Pamunkey and Powhatan Indians around here. So we grew up with it, but we'd go to Williamsburg and go to powwows there. And it's really a neat weekend. Everybody wants you there, then they really want to share the culture. It's fascinating. You're not going to feel excluded. I can tell you that, but especially if you go over to Paul and get some guidance on what to do. Andrew, new video up?
Technical error on my part.
I understand that.
Went back to do it, and there's no audio. So,
well,
but
add
I'll
some
have
music.
as much. Yeah, I think I'm gonna chop it up and see if I can make something out of it. Anyways, but be down in 2 weeks. We'll gonna do some videos of what to do when you're not at the parks. So we're gonna find the eye and go to the wax museum and stuff around there. And then
That's cool.
I'll do some videos from the cruise, and then on the Utopia, and then we've got 3 parks in 2 days, and I'll have a bunch of videos for that. So end of February, beginning of March, there'll be a lot of stuff up. So check out Mouse Gears at the end of the month.
I love, and Mouse Gears is still my favorite name for any YouTube channel ever, because he does car restoration as well, Paul. So cars,
that's cool.
and Disney. Mouse Gears, it's perfect.
My 2 most expensive hobbies in the world.
And then, but mostly Disney. I think I finally own everything. I finally got my YouTube changed over to @ButMostlyDisney instead of @Utator. So the last remnants of my initial name, and but mostly Disney, which I love. I bought that at Momentum, like literally sitting in the middle of a talk, right there. Now I will say, I wish I'd known that I couldn't put Disney, the word Disney, on T-shirts in my logo. So I've started using BMD for that, but Fourth Wall won't print anything with Disney on it. But these are the things you gotta figure out. So, but check that. And then if you guys are still listening at this point, do me a favor and head over to Spotify or Apple and give us a like and a quick review on the on there. I've never asked for that before, but I was going through some stuff the other day and I realized we have like 3 reviews. One's not great. They didn't say why. They just left us 1 star, but that's okay. Loved or hated, but never ignored, right? There's no bad press.
Yeah.
So head over, check out. That's exactly right. Somebody heard it and hated it. God bless them. All right. And then cool. So we'll have Brian Crawford on next week from Keeping Walt in Disney. And we're going to talk about Handcrafted. So I actually have a whole 7 days away a plan, which is so unusual.
Great documentary if you haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, please watch it by next week. I feel like everybody's seen it. So, but Paul, thanks again, man, for being so generous with your time. I really appreciate it.
Yeah. Nice to meet you.
Appreciate it. Andrew, glad you're okay. Thanks for having me, guys.
Sorry for that. That will not happen next week.
All right. Thanks, guys. See you soon.